there, everybody. Welcome to today's broadcast. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm so happy to have you here live and in the house, ready to rock and roll with our subject for today, which apparently is such a touchy one that some of you are already triggered, and I've barely said a word. Oh my gosh. I look in the chat, and already we've got someone saying, oh my God, why is it black women, obese black women that you're talking to? Ladies, we're going to get into that today. I'm going to need you to do this for me though. First of all, get comfy. Give this video a thumbs up before I say another word. Give this video a thumbs up because we need to have a talk today. And some of you are going to have your feathers ruffled, but guess what? Just like I said in the description for this video, if we can't talk to each other as women about our issues, particularly in the Black community, who can we talk to? Who can talk to us? Instead, you got other channels, men talking at you, telling you that you're worthless for, your weight and all this other stuff. And we don't do that here, but we are going to get into uncomfortable conversations. So before we begin today's talk, I want you to get the hell out of your feelings. Oh my God, is that going to be so hard for you to do? Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to today's show. I see you guys here in the chat. Hi guys, hello. We are live. The real Brielle B is here. That's my girl. You're gonna have to get in that, get that moderator wrench going. You're gonna have to monitor these chats because they about to get mad at Roxy. Okay. And who else do I have in here? I got a couple other folks in here. I have, I never know how to say your name properly. Fire, girl, tell me how to say your name. I'm gonna just call you 700. 700 travel more. Do phonetically how I can say your name. So next time I see you in here, I can say hello. But okay, so today what I want to say is we're gonna talk about intermittent fasting. Now, why did I title the video? Is intermittent fasting good for Black women, particularly those who fall into the obese and overweight category? And why? Why am I signaling you out? Oh my gosh. Well, let me go ahead and lay it out before we get into the meat of the conversation. Why? Because 80% of Black women are obese or overweight. Guys, later on this week, we're going to talk about an interesting statistic that came out in 2016, and I came across. 2016, there was a study that was done that said the American woman's size is now a size 16. So they used to say it was a 14, but now it's size 16 is what the true American woman's size is. But for Black women, for African American women, if you don't want to take my word for it, go down to the description of this video. There is a link there to an article in Essence magazine where they talked about this as well. The average size of the Black woman is between the size 18 and 20, guys. 18 and 20. So when you come here to my channel, drop your damn feelings. We have some things we need to talk about. Now, I'm always going to give the tough love. I'm always going to be very upfront, and I'm not going to sugarcoat things because you've been sugarcoated up the wazoo and we're still not doing anything about it. And I am a fitness professional. This is what I do, honey. I'm not an influencer. I could give a shit if you go ahead and unsubscribe. I had someone come to my chat telling me I'm unsubscribing. Goodbye. So I had to get that out before we began because some of you test me sometimes, I come on here to spread some love and to help you out and you test me. But that's okay because I can take it. Welcome guys to today's broadcast. I'm so happy to have you here. If this is your first time here, baby, welcome to the party. This is your girl Roxy. You know that I'm happy to have you here. If you're meeting me for the very first time, welcome, baby. You gotta do one thing for me though. You gotta make sure that you guys like this video right now. And I will be taking questions. I'll be taking comments. I'm not going to be reading them off of here unless you go ahead and you super chat. So if you super chat your question or you go ahead and send a Cash App, I'll show you that address in a moment. You can go ahead and make sure that I read your comments on screen because today is a coaching lesson. Friday is when we have our live panels, where I take Zoom calls and all that stuff, so I'll be able to be more interactive then. But I've got so much I need to talk about right here, right now with you guys. But if you're meeting me for the very first time, my name is Roxy Beckles. I am a self-development coach. I am an expert trainer. I'm a fitness professional who's been in this industry for over 20 years of hands-on real-world experience. And what I do now is I'm also a life coach. And I am passionate about helping women to rewrite their stories and to really get their bodies the way that they want to, using fitness as the driving factor behind all change. But here on my channel, we have the 4 pillars of fitness, which you just saw: your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your emotional fitness, and your spiritual fitness. And ladies and gentlemen, they all have to work together in order for you to be the best that you can absolutely, positively ever be. So if this is your first time here, subscribe, baby. Subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications and set it to all notifications so that way you don't miss a single video. And guess what? If you are my returning subscriber or viewer, I want to say welcome. You know I love you guys. Welcome back. Be sure that right now you give this video a thumbs up. Okay, I especially need that on the live because we want the engagement to stay high, above 50%. So give this video a thumbs up, especially if you like me to talk about these conversations that are more controversial, that are going to ruffle some feathers, and you like to be entertained. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and some love. Share it with your network and all that stuff. Now, for my ladies out there who need some extra help, join my Patreon community. It's like a group coaching community. We talk about deeper subjects in getting the results that you want: workouts, diet tips, masterclasses on training, nutrition, and more. If you want some one-on-one help, see that link right there, roxyfitness.com/workwithroxy. You'll find out where you can work with me month to month for coaching or set up a one-time consultation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this, I do have a couple of things I want to make you aware of. Number one, starting in June 7th to the 28th. Yes, June 7th to the 28th. I'm running a 21-day fat loss program. It is called Ready, Set, Glow. We are going to be working out live on Zoom. We are going to be doing workouts that I'm going to give you to do at home or in the gym. And we're going to be using intermittent fasting as the baseline for our nutrition. You're going to be working with me in real time. If this is something you want to partake in, scroll down to the description of this video. Get on my email list because I'm going to send out information over the next week about getting you guys all signed up. We just got a super chat in here right on the screen from Latin Patriot. That is my homegirl. What's up, girl? $4.99 super chat. I feel sick if I don't have breakfast and lunch. So far, easier to skip food at night. Seems more natural too, but not easy. Thanks for your videos. I might have a solution for you, girl. So hold on. We're going to go ahead and make sure we get that checked out. The second thing I want to talk about before we get into the conversation, guys, I have a wonderful, absolutely fantastic interview with one of my rock stars who's in my Patreon community. Her name is Alicia. Alicia lost 90 pounds, guys. Beautiful success story. She's not done with her progress yet. She's still going. And I'm telling you guys, the stuff that we talk about here on my channel changes bodies and changes lives. You got to get out of your feelings, my dear. I love you to death, and this is tough love, and Roxy's got your back. But when you get out of your feelings, just like Alicia did, that's when you're going to see the results. So make sure you guys go ahead and check out that video. It is live right now on my channel. Let's go ahead and jump into today's conversation. Here's what I want to tell you. If you got something you want to say, Cash App that, baby. Cash App or Super Chat. This is the address. I'll read it on screen. Now, let's jump in. Let's start off with the burning issue, the burning question for today. So today's burning question, the burning issue, intermittent fasting. Why I feel it's the great program, a great plan for our ladies out there who are struggling with weight loss. And I'm particularly talking to the Black community. Why the Black community? Ladies, do not get triggered. It's because of science. It's because of fact. Your girl, you know where I'm into the studies. Now, I've done videos in the past where I broke down the studies for you, what the science, what the data says, what the CDC, the United States government says about obesity in the minority community. African American women lead among all races and genders when it comes to our issue with obesity. It is specific to us. I look like you. You can relate to me as a woman talking to you. If not me, then who? You got other content creators, like I said, here talking to you about this issue, and they're not allowed to talk to you either. So who, if not me, a fitness professional who helps women to change their bodies and change their lives? Ladies, get out of your damn feelings. You gotta just do what you gotta do. It is crucial. Our people, and now I know before I even get into this, some of you are gonna go into what about the men? This is a woman's channel. Okay, I don't know what it is to live like a man. I'm not a man, but I know what it is to be a woman, and I'm here to help you. Of course, men are welcome here. They watch my channel. But this is about you. 80% of us have a chance at dying from a medical condition that is completely under your control. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a skinny mini. I'm not saying you need to be a size 4. Now, I told you at the beginning of this video that a 2016 study came out and said that African American women, in specifics, the average dress size is an 18 to 20. 18 to 20. Whose fault is that? You see, a lot of people want to say that I fat shame. You're fat shaming. Oh my God, I'm not fat shaming. I never called you a name. I never said these women were unworthy to live. I never said they're unworthy of love. I never said that they're unworthy to be human beings. What I did say is what the science is screaming at us, that we have to do something. Now, diet, ladies and gentlemen, is the key. Diet is the driving factor behind all change. And there are many ways to diet. And there's many ways to change your body. But one of the ways that we're going to talk about today is this intermittent fasting thing, and why I think that for this subgroup, it's a really great idea as far as getting you started. So let's go ahead and talk about this, all right? Let's talk about exactly what is intermittent fasting. Now, you know I've got some notes and I like to read them off because I like to be precise and get it down like a surgeon, honey. So let's go ahead and talk about number one. Let's defining what intermittent fasting is. Number one, it is an eating pattern where you cycle between periods of eating and fasting. The eating and fasting windows can be adjusted based upon your individual needs. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, about intermittent fasting. Now, a lot of people want to ask, is it the best way to diet? It's not necessarily the best way, guys. The best way is to simply be in a caloric deficit, because at the end of the day, calories in equals calories out, and that's what's going to get you to lose that weight and change your body. So it's not so much about what you're eating as far as do you have to cut everything out. Now, we got to make healthy choices. You can't be eating burgers and fries technically on this plan and think you're going to change. You got to be able to eat healthy. But it's not so much about what you're eating as much as it is about when you're eating and how you're structuring your day when it comes to your meal planning. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay? Now, what I want to talk about, though, is this, right? That why do I feel Black women in specifics, again, would benefit from this? And if you want to take away Black women, overweight people, obese people, whether you're man or a woman, why intermittent fasting works. But caveat emptor, there was a recent research that came out that said that it may not be optimal for women, and we're going to get into that. So let's talk about that. Do we want to hold up the mirror today, or do we want to discuss real world solutions? Let's hold up the mirror first and talk about why I feel you need to be doing intermittent fasting. All right, so why is it so effective? Let's talk about that. Number one, periods of fasting create incredible biological and hormonal changes in the body. And that's what kind of makes it a unique, let's say, like undercurrent to your diet. The first thing you got to do in order to lose weight, ladies and gents, is to be in a caloric deficit. Now, when I do that workshop in June, in about 2 weeks, we're going to talk about how to determine the proper caloric deficit for your goals and for your specific weight and for your activity level and your metabolism. And as long as you're running a deficit, you are going to see some changes. Now, what intermittent fasting does in the process of this, again, is that it creates a really incredible physiological environment that pushes along further change. And here's why. Number one of the first things that it does is that it reduces blood sugar and insulin levels. Now, this is an important thing, particularly for those of you who are falling into that obese and overweight category. Because for so many of you, you are sitting on the precipice of diabetes. Diabetes. You got sugar, honey. That's what they used to call it back in the day. I got sugar. I got the sugar. That's what the old people used to say. But it's diabetes. And there's some of you who are dealing with insulin resistance. And if your body cannot process sugar, glucose, and stuff like that properly, if your body is resistant to insulin, and insulin is not a bad hormone, insulin is a necessary hormone in the body. It gets a really bad rap, but it's a necessary hormone in the body. And if your body is insulin resistant, it cannot respond to sugar. It cannot store it in the way that it needs to. It can't break it down in the way that it needs to. And that starts to get accumulated as fat tissue. This is why it's important. And what intermittent fasting does, or we're going to call it IFing, that's like the abbreviation, just so I could stop being so tongue-tied. What it does is it helps to lower those markers for you. It helps to get the blood sugar back down. It helps to increase your insulin sensitivity. And there's another component, which we're going to talk about later when we talk about training, how training and working out fits into this equation, why that 1-2 punch is perfect for those of you who are dealing with obesity. So that's number one. The second reason why it's really helpful and why it works is because it increases human growth hormone, which interestingly enough, as you get older, it decreases, all right? And when growth hormone goes down, your ability to build muscle, to hold on to muscle, to burn fat, to keep your metabolism up, goes down. Intermittent fasting has been shown to actually raise those levels in the human body. Those of you who are dealing with being overweight or obese, okay? This is not a slight on you. Accept it, girlfriend. Accept it so you can change it. When you use intermittent fasting in this equation for you, your metabolism is going to go up. You're going to be able to burn more calories. You're going to be able to hold on to more muscle. So very important in helping you to lose the weight. Listen, look me in the eyes right now and you tell me in the chat right now, if you're a woman who has dealt with, and you know in your heart, look, Rox, I'm out of shape. I'm out of shape, Rox. I'm obese. I'm overweight, Rox. That's me. If that's you, and you have had trouble over the last couple of years of gaining and losing the same pounds, you know what the yo-yo diet is. If that's you, type a 1 in the chat. If you're too embarrassed, just touch your heart right now. Look me in the eyes and tell me that I'm wrong. Honey, I know I'm right. And I'm trying to give you the advice that's going to give you the results that you want. Don't get triggered. Let's go on to number 3. Number 3, it helps to control blood triglycerides, which is the fat levels in your blood, which helps to lower cholesterol. Now, this week, I'm gonna, oh man, you guys are gonna be so mad at me because I'm going to be talking about the obesity epidemic in a greater capacity. So I got a lot to talk about. We're gonna get into this dress size thing. We're gonna get into another conversation too. I was in a room on Clubhouse, which is my favorite thing now. Find me on Clubhouse. Look me up, Roxy Beckles, okay? I am Roxy Beckles. Follow me because we're going to be doing some panels and stuff over there, honey, okay? But there was a girl in a room, and they were talking about this issue of weight and attractiveness and dating world and all this other stuff, right? But it had to do with women, like plus-size women. And she went on this spiel about, skinny people are unhealthy too, and everybody talks about big women, and yada, 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 and I'm so healthy, and I'm overweight. And I just roll my eyes because, yes, I'm not saying that skinny people are healthy inherently. That is absolutely not true. But the myth, and I told you guys, there was a study released. You can't refute me because I'm like a study queen. I actually get journals sent to me by email, and I talked about this in an earlier video. Go and look where I talked about, is it possible to be overweight and healthy? Yes, when you're young, when you're in your 20s, Jesus Christ, you could be like You could be like the unhealthiest person in the world eating cheeseburgers every day. When you're like in your 20s, your metabolism is still not completely tanked. So your numbers may well be fine. But the research has shown over time that that is not the case. That as you get older, it catches up to you. The unhealthy eating, the things that are your arteries and your veins and all that stuff getting clogged up with all that what is it called? The fat in the arteries and stuff getting stuck, cholesterol. That stuff will kill you. Intermittent fasting can help to lower that. Silent killers, gone. You taking control there. That is why it's important. Now let's talk about the next benefit. The next benefit is that it helps to lower blood pressure. That is a huge one, particularly if you're someone who genetically is predisposed to have high blood pressure. Intermittent fasting helps to bring that down. That's another reason why you, as a woman who is obese or overweight, needs to include this in your diet approach. The next thing, my kitty cat, do you guys hear him? He's so loud. This damn cat never lets me be great. I usually put his little self in the damn room. And today I was like, oh, you sleeping? So I'll just let you lay here because you're cute and all. Yeah, he don't let me be great, guys. Did you hear him? He's so damn loud. Oh my God, you embarrass me, monkey. Embarrass me, monkey. Shh. Mama's doing a video over here. Jesus. Yes, I'm a cat lady. Okay, shut up. All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about is that it improves markers for inflammation and heart disease. And that's the final holding up the mirror that we'll talk about before we get into some solutions for you guys, okay? So, again, one of the benefits of intermittent fasting is that it improves inflammation. And inflammation is a really bad thing in the body. It causes all kinds of diseases, cancers, and stuff like that. So it really behooves you to really try to start taking care of that and making sure that you're keeping omega-3 fatty acids and eating foods that help to reduce inflammation. But intermittent fasting does a great job of that. And then, like I said, it also helps to regulate or, take you out of the running for developing heart disease. Win-wins. Now, before we get into some more solutions, I want to talk about one thing. Now, there's some recent research that came out that said that intermittent fasting can actually be more detrimental to women than men. But here's where that's not true. Okay, or rather, let me tell you the conditions under which it's bad for women. All right, and here it is. Here's what I got for you. So women should be warned that intermittent fasting can have a negative impact on reproductive hormones and fertility. This happens due to the downregulation of estrogen and other important reproductive hormones. So this is for women particularly who are thinking about doing intermittent fasting, and you're not in the obese, overweight category. Maybe you're a little bit more than normal weight to even athletic weight. Because I have some women out here who watch my stuff and y'all are in shape. You know you're in shape. Be careful. Because what happens is that with you, what happens is specifically the body fat is going down, right? And once you start changing around, there's some research that says that circadian rhythms, like your body's like normal time clock, meal timing, and all that stuff has an impact on a woman's hormones. Also, with body fat going down, the lower your body fat, the more you throw off your reproductive system. So if you're a woman who is concerned about fertility, if you're a woman who may be trying to get pregnant within the next couple of months or something like that, keep this in mind that you might want to be a little bit careful when it comes to intermittent fasting. But it is, however, really great for a specific subset of women dealing with hormonal reproductive issues, and that is women with PCOS. Here's a little interesting tidbit for you. So women who have PCOS may benefit from intermittent fasting or IFing due to a drop in kisspeptin. That's a hormone called kisspeptin. And it also helps to regulate some other sex hormones within women. So if you're dealing with PCOS and you're having a hard time losing weight, I've done a video here on that, and you might want to look back into my hormone series. Look at my playlist, and it should come up in there somewhere. Intermittent fasting can be great for you, along with a low carbohydrate diet along the lines of keto or something like that. But that's another conversation we'll talk about. Maybe I'll do a video more specifically on the details for PCOS and diet and training for members of my Patreon community. So if you want to come into Patreon, you got to go ahead and get that. All right. So let's go ahead now and give you the real world solutions about what you can do from here to include intermittent fasting in your weight loss plan and how to incorporate training with this as well. So let's get into it, ladies. Let us go ahead and have this conversation. Now, if you want to ask a question or you want me to go ahead and read your comments, you can super chat them right down to Roxy Beckles, or go ahead and, Cash App it or hit the super chat, and I'll make sure that I answer your questions on air. So the first thing that you need to do when it comes to intermittent fasting is that there are different setups that you can use. And again, it's been highly proven to be effective for women trying to lose weight. You don't have to go to extremes though, okay? So when I include intermittent fasting with any of the clients that I have on a fat loss program, I typically love to do a 19-5 setup. So 19 hours of fasting, 5 hours of an eating window. So within that eating window, that's when you're getting in all your meals. Typically speaking, for a lot of my clients who are on that kind of a setup, their first meal may be around 11 or 12 o'clock, so sometime midday, and their last meal would end around 5 o'clock p.m. And then outside of that is when they're fasting. Now, there are other clients where this is a little bit too stringent or they're just getting into it. And there's another setup that I like, which is the 16-8. So a 16-hour eating window and 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour eating window. So in that case, you can go from 9 to 5 or anything else you can think of. Start your meals at 11 or 10 or 12, whatever you want, and fit that meal planning into an 8-hour window. Now, outside of that, you are fasting, and fasting also includes the time in which you are sleeping. So yes, sleeping time is definitely factored into this. Now, when you are fasting, ladies, that means that you are fasting. There is no consumption of calories. There is no snacking. You've got to have discipline. And that's what's wrong with some of you out there. You have no discipline. You are so undisciplined. Like the slightest rumble of your stomach and you're rushing to the freaking cabinets to stuff your face with something. Now, I don't care if you're obese or overweight. It doesn't matter. Even you skinny ones too. Everybody out there dealing with how to stay on my diet. You have no discipline. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is not some magic pill here, okay? You got to get serious about what it is you want with your body, okay? When I was bodybuilding, honey, I was hungry all the time, but I knew that me sticking to my diet is what's going to get me to that next level. So outside of the eating window, whether you choose 5 or 8 hours, that's 16 hours. What do you get to have? You can have water. You can drink tea that is unsweetened. Black coffee is fine. I caution you against drinking diet sodas or anything that has artificial sweeteners or anything like that, simply because it can cause cravings in your body. So you've got to make sure that you are really sticking to your plan. And in your eating windows, you can make sure that you're having food that is balanced for your needs. Okay? So it's going to take you having the discipline to make this happen. But again, at the end of the day, what leads to weight loss is what? A caloric deficit. So you got to do that 1-2 punch. Now again, we're going to be using intermittent fasting in the 21-day program that I'm doing. It's called Ready, Set, Glow, and it's going to be a live workshop. 3 weekends. You're meeting me on a Saturday on Zoom to get your butt up and get worked out for a full hour with your girl, Roxy Beckles. And the meal planning is going to be based on a caloric deficit and intermittent fasting. So if this interests you and you want to work closely in a group setting with me over 21 days to jumpstart your fat loss, get you off your butt, and back onto your program, scroll to the bottom, description of this video, okay? Scroll to the description. You will see the link to get yourself signed up. Now let's talk about how, ladies, you're gonna wanna lose weight and not just focus on diet. You want this body tight, right? You wanna get toned. You gotta train, you gotta work out. You know it was coming. So can you work out and do intermittent fasting? Can you marry the two? Is it gonna help you to lose more weight? Are you gonna drop too much, muscle and look skinny fat? No. Now, what you need to do when it comes to training while doing intermittent fasting is to keep this in mind. Whatever builds muscle keeps it in the face of fat loss. And training is an important part of this equation, ladies. You know you're not going to get away from working out when you come to my channel and get my advice. And my advice is to always train hard, to train heavy, or go the hell home. Okay? You're not going to look like a man. You're going to look incredible, honey. You're going to look sexy, sleek, toned. You're going to be athletic. Man, you're going to be so excellent if you weight train. Now, here's what you got to think about. All right? I want you to commit to 3 to 5 days in the gym, working out about an hour to even 90 minutes, honey. And yes, I said it. Honey, I'm not here to tell you to get up in and out the gym in 20, 30 minutes. No, you got to put that work in. Girl, you better put that work in. Okay? Do you think I look like this all these years? Good, getting in and out of the gym in 10 minutes? No, honey. 60 minutes. All right. Now, some of you are short on time. Break it up. 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes later on in the day. Or figure it out so you can get in there and work your butt off 3 to 5 days a week. Now, we talked about on this channel what the United States government says you need to be doing when it comes to exercise. So don't look at me and come to my comments and say, I can't work out that much, Becky. Well, guess what? The U.S. government says that the average person, the average American, needs to be working out 7 days a week with 30 minutes of cardio per day with 2 days of weight training. That's the United States government. So you won't go ahead and tell them that? I'm just telling you to do the minimum. Now, for those of you who have more time in the gym, you can spend more time. Why did I say 90 minutes? Because if you think about it, if you do about 30 minutes of cardio, 35 minutes of cardio, then you have another, an hour or 45 minutes or so to get in and do your weight training. You put that all in one session, that's in. A dance class, a ballet class is 90 minutes. So I don't want to even hear about any of you saying, I can't do 90 minutes. Yes, you can. Some of you waste that much time doing nothing. So you can sit down and watch Netflix for 90 minutes. You better take Netflix to the cardio machine with you. Okay? I'm not playing, guys. I'm really serious. 3 to 5 days a week. Train hard, train heavy. Ladies, you gotta lift weights. And it's okay to go ahead and lift and do intermittent fasting. Now, some of my clients love to work out in the morning. And they'll do that before their eating window begins. And if you're the type of person who can do that, I encourage it. I personally love working out on an empty stomach. I feel good like that. But I can also eat and then work out. So do what works for you. I have a client who I've talked about here on this channel. Her name is Stephanie. Stephanie's on a 100-pound weight loss journey. We are almost there. Go back to my playlist where I have my client success stories. Look for Stephanie. See her story. We were down about I think we were down maybe 70 or 80 pounds in the last video. Guys, we're almost at that 100-pound mark. Anyway, she's IFing right now. She's doing this right now as a part of her programming. She gets a little dizzy before she trains, and she likes to train in the morning. So I told her to go ahead and have a small swig of Gatorade or eat her first meal before she trains. She's also on a keto diet as well. It's working fantastically for her. So if you're like that and you need to have something because you're dizzy before you train, fine. That's great. Go ahead and do that. And when you're in that gym, lift hard, lift heavy, and challenge yourself. If you need workouts, come to my Patreon. I'll tell you about how you can go ahead and get yourself hooked up to that in a moment. Okay? But stepping outside your comfort zone is what's going to be needed, ladies. Now, here's the other thing that's really important. I alluded to earlier how when you are obese or you're overweight, you have insulin resistance, very likely, and you have high blood sugars, right? Pre-diabetes for so many of you. And this can also be controlled and lowered and eliminated when you start to train properly, because weight training increases insulin sensitivity. So when your body is working out and you're training, remember, in the gym, you are breaking down tissue. You are not building a dang thing. Your body builds when you get out of the gym and you're resting and you're eating. That's why I told you only 3 to 5 days and not 7 days a week, okay? There's a method to the madness, all right? But your body, when you finish weight training, it needs glucose, blood sugar. So if it's floating around in your body and the blood sugar's like, hey, we ain't got nowhere to go, and then all of a sudden you're working out, it's like, oh my God, it's getting sucked into your muscles and it's being used. And that's the point. It's like a miracle. Oh my God. And at the same time, you're building muscle, you're increasing your metabolism, honey. If you ain't weight training, ladies, get yourself under a squat bar, okay? I always say, meet me at the bar, not the alcoholic one, the one at the squat rack, right? So that's what it is. So that is why, this is how we wrap this up for you. That is why I feel that intermittent fasting is perfect for those of you who are dealing with obesity and being overweight, specifically in that demographic and group. Ladies, gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you have to say? Post it in the comments below. Post it in the comments below so that way I can see it. That way I can check it out. And we can have a discussion, because remember, when you add value, when you share, you add value. And adding value to our community is something that, is important, at least here. I like to strike up conversation. Now, I have said some things for some of you, which is triggering. Some of the stuff I say is so triggering. Get out of your feelings. I feel that people today are so sensitive about absolutely everything, to the point to whereas you make yourself stay stuck because everything everyone says is a slur, is a phobia, is a this, is that, when it's not. If you can't be held accountable, then what? Are you just going to stay failing the rest of your life? Who wants to deal with that, right? Let me go ahead and see, before we wrap up, to see if we have any extra comments here in the chat that I need to bring to attention. And let me see if we had any super chats or anything come in before we end today's discussion. No extra comments, okay, no extra comments, and that's good. So that means I got my whole entire points across. And we're going to go ahead and end here for, oh wait! We just got a super chat. Oh, it's my wizard wig. I gotta go back. I gotta get my sparkles. We got a super chat from Drew. Drew M says, $5 super chat. I love your show. Thank you so much, Drew. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Guys, listen, when we do these conversations during the week, I like to go ahead and make sure we keep these videos more succinct, so that way folks are not intimidated to get the information that we have to watch here. So make sure you go back and watch some of my other videos. Share them with your friends. Share them with your network and let people know what it is that we are doing here. Now, if you need some extra help, I want to go ahead and tell you how to get it. Become a member of my channel. Click the Join Now button. That's one of the easiest ways to go ahead and get the help that you need. The videos that I have are deeper conversations. We go into depth with solutions. And I talk about a lot of things that I don't talk about openly here on the channel. And that's specifically for the folks that want the work. Listen, I'm a professional. I'm not an influencer. What I have to share is here to change your life. So go ahead and join now. The second way that you can go ahead and get some help and get to the next level is by joining my Patreon community. Patreon.com/rockstarfitness. Not only will you have access to the members only videos here on my channel, but you'll have workouts. You'll have coaching modules that I release every single month. You will have, private special videos that I do for members only. Lessons, masterclasses on training, nutrition, mindset, and more. It is so in-depth, and I'm there to help you out. So make sure you check that out. And the third way is by one-on-one help. rockstarfitness.com/workwithroxy. You can set up a one-on-one private coaching call, just you and me, one-time only call. Bring your questions to me, bring your personal, issues to me, and I will help you to get a solution and tell you how to move forward. I call those my supernova breakthrough calls. The supernova is the biggest, brightest event in the galaxy. With my company name, Rockstar Fitness, you see the correlation, okay? And then the other way is for those of you who are really serious and you know you have a lot of work to do, come on by for coaching, because working with me month to month is probably one of the best investments that you can have within yourself. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, make sure that you subscribe to the channel right now. Hit the bell notification, set it to all notifications so that way you do not miss a single video. Guys, I promise you, you want to be a part of this community. We are growing. I can grow faster the more you spread this message, like the videos, and talk about it. Okay, guys? Let me go ahead and get out of here. I really appreciate you for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed this message, and I will talk to you on the next one, guys. Toodles! See you later, and bye for now.